But let's move on to the next fight on the card. It's the third fight, which is a middleweight matchup between Sean Strickland, who is 22-3 and is a minus 250 favorite, going up against Krzysztof Jotko, who's 22-4 and is the plus 210 underdog. How do you feel about this fight?
First, I feel that I'm glad that this fight is happening without fans because Sean Strickland is another Kevin Holland. He's always talking in the cage. But both of these guys are extremely exciting fighters. You have Sean Strickland, who's coming off a 3-fight win streak with the instant classic with Jack Marshman. Not only is it fun to watch him fight, but Strickland, like I said, is a talker like Kevin Holland. He's facing Jotko, who's also riding a 3-fight win streak, most recently beating former Cage My IQ guest Eric Anders. These two guys have knockout power, but they are also comfortable with letting it go to the distance with a combined 25 decision wins. So I expect this to be an entertaining fight. A lot of stand-up between these two is what I'm thinking. A lot of kicks, a lot of body kicks, real good stand-up. But I think this is going to be closer than a lot of people are putting it out there. That 250 is kind of glaring to me. I'm going to go with Jotko by decision. I'm taking the underdog. I think that Strickland's going to talk his way out of a win here.
Yeah, and then another Cage My IQ moment here. Both fighters here are training partners to two guys that I had the privilege of interviewing last month. And Jordan Young, he trains with Jotko, and then Sam Alvey trains with Sean Strickland over there in California. So they have ties to Cage My IQ past interviewers. So that's a good thing to note. But as you see here, Strickland is 6'1", 185, orthodox fighter. He gets about 5.09 significant strikes per minute, where he averages accuracy-wise 41.57 of those to connect. Then he has 1.26 takedowns per fight, and then his takedowns are usually 60% accurate. So he's usually pretty good with getting his takedowns. And then he has 0.42 submission average is per fight. Whereas Jotko is 6'1", 185. He's a southpaw stance, so it's going to be a little nice matchup with two different stances. He averages 2.98 strikes per minute, and then his accuracy with the strikes are 61.05. So he's more accurate when he goes for his strikes. And then he gets 1.27, just beats him by 0.01 on the takedown average. And then, but his average takedown accuracy is only at 35, so he shoots for less. I feel like with this matchup, with a lot of the things being the same, but the strike per minute, I feel like these guys are going to be just standing up and trading. They're not going to go for the takedown. They're not going to go for the submission. They're going to go for the striking and the kicks and whatnot. And if I know Jordan Young and how he trains, that camp uses a lot of kicks and a lot of combinations. So I'm actually going to go with you on this. I won't go too much into depth with this. I'm going to go with you with Krzysztof Jotko, and I'm going to go with him winning by unanimous decision in this matchup. I feel like he's going to mix up the kicks to offset all the striking that Strickland does, because Strickland is more so takedown, and then he mixes up kicks, strikes along with it. But his game's a little bit less, in my opinion, than Jotko's. I think people are going to sleep on Jotko because Strickland is the bigger name in this matchup. And I feel like he's going to come in too overconfident because of that. And I feel like he's going to not go with the takedown because of it. He'll think, all I have to do is knock him out in this matchup. All I have to do is my striking, and he's gonna get caught by surprise by Jotko, who's gonna get ahead on the scorecards with his kicks and the striking. He's gonna do a lot of kicks to the legs to slow down Strickland, so he can't go to the takedowns when he realizes that he's gonna need to. And Jotko's gonna win this by unanimous decision.
Yeah, it's an even fight. I'm surprised the numbers are where they're at, because these guys are, like you said, almost virtually identical. They just have a strength in two different categories. This one's it's kind of weird because like if you go back to the Strickland and Marshman fight,
Yeah.
Strickland was open for punches and he was allowing Jack Marshman to take shots at him, but Marshman's gas tank was empty.
Yeah.
Where Jocko's got a pretty good gas tank, so you can't play those games. You can't take those risks. And it's no offense to like, I always feel bad when I'm picking against people because I know you're an active interviewer, and I don't want them coming on and be like, "You guys don't pick against me." But
yeah,
I'm gonna ride with Jotko this time, but I expect a pretty explosive fight.
Me too. It has the makings to be underlining fight of the night type of atmosphere with these two, and I feel like that's my pick. This is my pick to be the fight of the night. It's either this or the next matchup, but as long as Strickland does what I think he's going to do and doesn't give his full effort in because he thinks he's going to just have it in the bag, then I think it's going to be a long day at the office for him.
Yeah, this is going to go to full 3 rounds, I believe. Just like you said.
Yeah, definitely. But let's move on to the fourth fight on the card. By the way, there's 6 fights on the card compared to 5, which is nice. So instead of having 5, there's an extra one, which is always good.